Nearly 30 minutes a thing you forgot about Old Siege, narrated by Patrick Bateman. Whoa! See, this is my right here.
Outro pose. Here's a few more things that I miss in Siege. Bandit and Jaeger ACOG was so much fun to use, and I can't believe they aren't bringing them back with the new season. But at least
what? Yo, that was the movement back then?
The old intro to Siege was a cool thing they had that was kind of unnecessary to take out, along with the intro screen they had for each season.
Arcade? No, I unplugged my PC. And yo, PS servers are down. I can't even hop on fucking console.
It really gave each season that unique feel, along with the music. I wish they'd bring this back.
Yo, nobody wants this back. We just want a good game. If you want this back, you're like picky.
I understand why it's not in ranked, but Hostage was really fun to play. You could just run in, grab the hostage, and win. I also miss the old maps, even though they didn't
you miss
really
Hostage,
play well.
chat? Did you guys
play
play it?
They were still kind of fun.
Yo, I used to be a secure area superstar.
The last thing I really miss is Recruit
Bro. I remember I used to play, chat, you know how back then they had Bomb, they had Secure, and they had Hostage. I only played Secure, bro. As soon as they took off Secure, I got off the game. I quit Siege. I was like, bro, Bomb is so trash.
This was one of the most fun things to do in ranked.
Secure
Getting a 5-stack with the boys and loading up Hostage was all-time goated, and I hope this kind of returns with the Recruit rework. Let's see things Paul Allen misses from old Siege.
Now,
remember
like,
how insane Ella was when she first came out? Here are a few more things you might not remember about old Siege. Glaz used to be able to shoot through the windows on plane.
What?
He also had insane recoil on his sniper and no thermal.
What?
So you needed some
no
real
thermal
eagle eyes to spot people. His original scope actually used to be really red, and then later changed it to clear, then thermal. Speaking of Glaz, when he got buffed, he was one of the best attacking ops. His thermal was instant, and you could use it while moving around. You could hide in a smoke grenade, and anyone who was around was
Glaz was busted
Old
back then.
Clubhouse was kind of crazy, because there was no construction connecting the top floor together. Instead of
I don't remember Old Clubhouse. Oh, they had the ladder.
CCTV and
nah, Old Clubhouse was bad vibes. They had a hatch.
There was just nothing there, so basement was even easier to hold. The old ranks used to look way different. The ranks also used to be backward.
Yo, bring this shit back.
Meaning you would go from Gold 1 to Gold 2 if you went up a rank.
This shit back.
Here's a bit of a better look at all of the old ranks.
Matrix.
Let's see what else Paul Allen remembers about old Siege.
Bro,
they need
rank
to add
1.0.
back grenades in
I only
Siege.
played like the last
season. It was
season,
rare but very satisfying.
Rank 1.0 is so much better.
Here are a few things I miss from old Siege Part 2. This is a feature I'm not even
Bro,
sure
every game I played
remember,
was like so
but being
comp.
able to rematch the team you just played in ranked was a really cool thing they had. It was rare.
You could rematch
because you needed
on dogs. I never knew that.
This is something I'd want to see return.
What?
Night maps.
No, don't do that because kids can just boost.
Because the lighting was bad. But I feel like they could do a good job now with the lighting. I just like the look and feel of the night maps better. This is a little nitpicky, but I always thought it was cool how it would zoom in on the guy that smoked you. This doesn't need to return, but I did like it. Secure area in ranked was my go-to thing to play for me. You could filter out hostage and bomb and just play secure. But I can understand why it was taken out, but it was fun.
The colors
because you could
look
have unlimited
depressing,
time in a
chat.
round if you had a Monty sit in there.
You can't lie, that looks
I mentioned this
depressing.
in the last video, but I really do miss these intro screens. I know they got rid of them so you could reconnect to ranked fast, but they were still awesome. Let's see more of Paul Allen's things he misses from old Siege.
Yo, what's going on? We cut into the next scene or what, man? What's going on?
Remember when you could take out defenders with a Twitch drone in the
Twitch drones used to do 10 damage. I remember that.
Newer Siege
right?
players might not
Twitch
know.
drones did 10
IQ
damage,
was
right,
basically
chat?
Warden early on in Siege. She could see through smoke. Also, smoke grenades looked way different. Kavira's old pistol was insane. It had no damage drop-off, along with the old pistol recoil. It was very satisfying to get knocks with it and get interrogations. The Super 90 was basically a sniper.
Oh, hell no!
Old Monty was crazy. Even when cornered, his shield wouldn't move. Another thing was nameplates when you looked at ops.
It
which
was
kinda helped on the night maps.
nameplates?
The shield ADS was also insanely
No,
fast.
bro.
When you got smoked in a gunfight but got out with minimal health, you could have someone reset
I
you
do
to
remember
50
that.
health,
I remember that. This was
which
fire.
would be an absolute game changer in gunfights.
This was actually
and
fire.
like this clip won me the round. Bartlett University. A lot of people don't even know this map. It's completely removed from the game now, but it used to be in ranked.
This map,
I think they were
this
gonna
map
rework
wasn't
it, but
that
turned it
bad.
into Emerald Plains.
This
So
map
that's all
wasn't
that's
that
left
bad,
of it.
Cham. That
Remember when Monty used to have the most broken hip fire with the revolver? Here's a few more things that you might have forgotten about from old Siege.
What?
One of the
Imagine
rarest
center
things
on
to
that?
happen in Siege was double overtime. If you traded when the game was tied 4-4, It was now 1st to 7.
What?
I only experienced this one time out of my entire time playing Siege, and that was back in year 1 or 2.
At 18?
Blackbeard's shield was nearly indestructible, like there was absolutely no point in trying to break
Nah,
it.
imagine,
Your only
bro.
hope was if he missed all
Imagine
his
having to
shots
play
or
against like
well-placed
Shaiko and he
C4.
has Blackbeard,
Both Frost
OG
and Kavira
Blackbeard.
used to have a nitro cell, and back in the day, nitro cells were basically
like
pocket-sized nukes. One of the many weird
pocket-sized
glitches of
nukes?
old Siege was raptor legs. No clue what caused this to happen, but it was only in kill cams and it was hilarious. When you kept scanning enemies, it used to give you 5 points for each person, and you could be on top of the leaderboard with no kills at the end of the game if you spammed it. The old reflex used to have a much bigger triangle and it was much brighter too.
Ew,
The C4 throw
that looks
animation looked more
ass.
clunky and the old knife animation was a quick swipe. Remember when the SMG-11 had an ACOG? Here are even more
I never
things you
used
might have
this,
forgotten
bro.
about old Siege.
Yo, if
Lion was
if
one of the
I
most
had
overpowered
SMG-11
ops we've
ACOG,
ever
GG's,
seen.
I'm the best player in
He
the
gave
game.
legitimate wall hacks, and once you heard this sound, you were cooked.
Bro, this op was
You used to be
so
able to
busted.
see everyone's ranks right in the game, but now you can
Oh
only
my
see them on
goodness.
R6 Tracker or if you are partied up. You could dodge a
I don't know
ranked
why they
game
removed
right
that.
up until the match was about to start. Thankfully, you can't do this anymore because the queue times lasted longer with people constantly leaving. Article 5 was a really cool thing they had, and now it's gone completely.
Hey, yo.
You were forced to queue up with 4 other randoms and defuse the White Mask Gang's bombs. It felt like a keystone
The who?
of old Siege. In old T-Hunt, they used to have these bomber enemies.
Yo, I
that were
fucking hate
absolute
these
tanks
clowns.
and had an explosive radius.
You'd
that
have
was
to
the size of a
headshot
nuke.
them, bro. They'd always fuck
This
me up
made
in
old
T-Hunt.
Siege a horror game. Glaz used to be able to shoot through castle barricades and make tiny bullet holes.
Yeah,
With
okay.
enough shots, the castle would just
Oh,
straight
so
up
Glaz
break,
was like
too.
the best op
Let's
in the
see
game
Paul
from
Allen
back
remember
then.
even more things about old Siege. Remember when attackers could all be using shields? Here are even more things you might not remember about old Siege. Not only could you run 5 shields with just recruit, you could bring
What
a
is
Monty, Blitz, and
this?
Fuse along with the 2 recruits. As a defender, this was terrifying to go against. Zofia could just get back up out of sheer willpower.
I don't know why they took this out of the
Originally,
game,
it was
chat.
1
This
health,
was the.
but they increased it
This
to
was
5.
so stupid, bro.
This mechanic saved so many rounds, including one in Pro League, which is why it
Zophia's
got
like
removed.
mid
You
now.
used to be able to ADS insanely fast with shields.
Oh!
If you lined up a headshot,
Oh!
whoever you were looking at was cooked. The SMG-12 used to have no recoil. I guess you could say there was recoil, but it was so much easier to control. It was basically a free headshot every time, and you could
Wait,
use
the
it like it was a primary. The old operator portraits when waiting for everyone to choose their ops used to look way different, and the background too, with all the smoke moving around. Finka's boost used to give you insanely fast ADS and no recoil, but you didn't.
I hated this. No,
Even if you-
I fucking hated this, bro. When someone would pop a Finka, I would always die, bro. They made it where, so it's not in the game no more, but they made it where you had 0 recoil, right? That would fuck me up because I'm so used to pulling down. I used to like aim head level, and then my aim would just go from like here just to all like drop down.
Weren't
Terrible,
overhealed.
bro. I used to tell
Once
kids
that
like, yo,
surge
don't even
was
go
over,
Finka,
that
bro. It
extra
fucks
health
me up.
was over too. Remember when Maestro had insane hip fire on his LMG?
Yeah.
Can't forget his ACOG too. Here are even more things you
miss
might
his
not remember
ACOG,
about
dog.
old Siege. Thermite used to have frags, so he was basically a one-man army. You could
Thermite
deal with
with
the bandit
frags?
yourself, then get the wall. This is what the old menu used to look like. It was a person with a patch that showed wherever the newest op was from. You used to have to buy attachments.
Yeah,
and
bring
renown
this.
was hard
Yeah,
to
bring
come
this
by
back,
early on,
bro.
especially when you just got a new op. So sometimes you had to go in with minimal attachments. Blitz's running animation used to completely expose him, but hip firing used to be insane. You could actually snipe people across the map if you lined up your crosshairs. Getting hit by Echo's yokai was the worst thing to do.
Oh!
Your screen would wobble back and forth until you
Yo,
stood
Echo
still.
should be like
And
this.
by that point,
Chat,
you were
this is
most
how
likely
Echo
cooked.
should be.
Speaking of Echo, he used to have an ACOG, but just one drone. That one drone could go invisible, though, once you stuck it to the ceiling and won a lot
I
of
do
bomb
remember
rounds
that.
if Echo was off-site hiding
Yo,
somewhere.
you cannot
Let's see
see
what
that
else
shit.
Paul
Just
Allen
like the
remembers
goo
about
mines.
old
The goo
Siege.
mines used to go invincible.
Remember when the old run-out timer was 2 seconds and your screen would turn all yellow? Here's a few more things you might not remember about old Siege.
Extended barrel?
Pulse used to be able to
Extended
insta-swap
barrel
from
used
his
to be
heartbeat
dog
sensor
shit.
back to his primary. And I haven't used it in a while, but I feel like his M1014 used to be kind of crazy. Speaking of Pulse, this is what his old heartbeat sensor used to look like.
Ooh.
It was blurrier, and at least visually seemed a bit slower. The quick leaning used to be insane. It was way faster.
This is when Bolo
and
was
was nearly
primed out.
impossible to hit someone doing
This is when Bolo was a
especially
little ass
when there was a
kid.
big ping difference.
I mean, look at
This is
that.
what Hibana used to look like on the right and her new one on the left. Honestly, a much-needed upgrade. Not sure what they were thinking with the original
Jokes.
design.
looks
Clash's
more beatable
secondary
to the
used to
right.
be a 2-burst. That was honestly not that bad, but it's way better now that it's full auto. Clash's shield swap animation was also way faster.
Wait, that was
So
nasty!
you could really put people in the
Good thing
spin
they
cycle
nerfed that.
when she first dropped. The old disabling the diffuser animation used to just be smacking the diffuser, and I think it was faster
I'm
too,
so
but
glad
not
they took this
100%
out, bro.
sure on that.
I'm
Remember
so
when you
glad
used
they
to
took
be
that
able
out.
to change your weapon to single fire or 3-round burst? Here's even more things you
Unnecessary.
might not remember about Old Siege. Capkin's traps used to one-shot any operator, but you could also see the laser, and he only had 3 of them. And Capkin was also a 1-speed, so it took him forever to set up. When Melusi first came out, she used to have the T5 and a C4, as well as being a 3-speed, so she was insanely strong. The Roman
hear
used to
that
have
right?
20
Hold on,
rounds in
hold
a
on.
mag instead.
Did I just hear that right? Whoa. I think I was on like a break during this. Melusi was a 3-speed with a C4. I think I took a break during that time. What the actual fuck? So Melusi was the greatest op in the game. And a T. Oh, she had the T5 too, Legion's gun.
Of 16,
Wow.
which made a bigger
Oh,
difference.
so
than you
Melusi
would
was
think.
played like every
When Golden Gun first came
every
out,
single,
it was like a normal
every
game
single
of
round.
quick match, so you could use operators' abilities like Oryx. This was the old breaching charge animation. It was
Yo,
slower,
that is
but did a lot more
crazy.
damage, so led
That
to
had
some
to be the
pretty
best
fun
op on
rounds.
defense, hands
Zero
down.
had frags when he first came out, but they didn't last long, sadly. Speaking of frags, this isn't old at all, but being able to cook them was the best.
I hated
and I
that.
don't
No,
know
no,
why
no,
they
no.
got rid of it. Old
Best
Border didn't
siege
have
and
bathroom.
best
It was
change in
just
siege
tellers,
history
and then
was
a wall
making
that led to
frags not be able to cook no
making it a
more. I
horrendous
said it,
site
bro.
to defend for any
I would
game mode.
always get
There was
naded
almost
from
nowhere
below.
to sit on site. Let's see what else
24/7.
Paul Allen remembers about Old Siege.
24/7.
Remember what running used to look like in Siege? Here's even
Shit
more
was
things you
ass.
might not remember about Old Siege. For every operator's birthday, Ubisoft would put out a challenge to get a unique charm or skin.
What?
They did dog tags for each op, as well as a birthday wrap skin. and
Terrible
charms
take.
of
Well,
each
I was the one
operator
getting
ability.
naded, bro.
Everyone on defense used to have 2 reinforcements each, except Recruit, who only had 1.
Oh.
There was no reinforcement pool, so sometimes walls would
When
just get
motherfuckers
opened
wouldn't
immediately.
reinforce,
It
bro.
also was
Get me
way
so
slower
heated.
reinforcing than it is now.
Thank God
you
they
used to be
changed
able
that.
to
Smart ass
one-hit
update.
barricades and fly right through them if you hit it at the perfect angle. On Old Border, you used to be able to shoot a zero cam right into archives. Since a lot of people used to sit on the hatch to head glitch the bomb chassis, it led to some golden opportunities that don't happen anymore. Smoke
Yo.
used to have the weakest arm in history, and his smoke canisters wouldn't go more
What?
than 2 feet. Frost used to
What?
hold her gun by the mag on the side instead of underneath. Ella used to pull out a
Ugh.
Grismot mine when she was down. Not only would you
Yo!
stop it, but you could also stop the bomb from being defused. Let's see what else Paul Allen remembers about Old Siege. Remember when Nomad's air jabs would instantly go off on the test server? Here's even more things you might not remember about
Yo, that's
Old Siege.
fucking broken.
Bandit used to have 3 barbed
Oh.
wire, and he was the only op to ever have this
Wait,
for the
wait,
small
wait,
time it was
why?
there.
What
Oryx
was-
used to have the MP5 when he first came out, and he was slower to jump up the hatches.
I didn't know this.
He also would take 10 damage when he'd run through a wall, so his pick rate was really low when he first came out.
Doesn't he
you
still
used to be
take
able
10
to steal
damage?
people's kills. If someone else knocked an enemy and you got the last shot, you would get the kill, which led to a lot of tragedies. You used to get points when you would knock
He
someone,
takes 5.
and bonus
Oh.
points when you did it with Kavira's old pistol. Nomad and Cade's 44 mag used to be really good when it first came out.
Nah, that
it
shit
had
was
very
ass.
little recoil,
This shit was
good
always
damage,
ass.
and had a different scope. Shields did not stop nitro cells if it landed near you. Even when you were full extended with Monty, you were cooked. There used to be
GGs.
like 10 windows in the canal control room, so you had to try and guess
Yo,
which one was
OG
there and
Canal
not
is
with
so
ACOG just standing
bad,
at a
even
spawn.
worse.
Pair this with the old
Now
lighting,
still
and it was a
bad.
massacre every time someone walked out of their spawn. Let's see what else Paul Allen remembers about Old Siege. Remember when Valkyrie could throw her cameras outside? Here's even more things you may have forgotten about Old Siege. The old deployable shield
Yo,
was way
yo,
different,
Bobby,
a
what
lot
rank
more
are you,
clunky,
bro?
and had no
No,
way
no,
to
no,
win those.
no, no, no. You keep calling me wrong on everything I'm saying. Yo, bro, what rank are you, dog? Motherfucker,
You could
bro.
also use the shield to block someone from vaulting windows if you placed it sideways. Old Theme Park used to have all these train
You
cars
can't
in
lie,
the
the
middle,
new canal's
and you
better
never
than
knew where
old.
someone was lurking. Not only this, but the lighting was really bad on this map. Bullet hole
Ugh.
peaks.
I hated
One of the
this
most broken
too.
things in Siege history. You would get spawn peeked and then see you
Bro,
got
look
smoked by
at
someone looking
this.
through the cracks of time. This old glitch, when Outback first came out, you could phase through the air conditioner. Although people caught on pretty
Whoa!
quick and started putting frost mats there. When they buffed all the pistols, they all had no recoil and were insanely strong, especially Kavira's pistol. Fortress being in ranked.
This map
I
was.
feel like
this
this
map
map
was
didn't last too long in
trash.
ranked, however it is still in quick play.
Yeah, I got
The
champion
old hatch
1.0.
reinforcement animation and the reinforcement itself were different. It was a lot slower, and it stuck out of the floor, making it pretty awkward to hit with Hibana. Remember when the
Wait,
Lord
really?
Tachanka's turret was mounted? Here's even more things you might have forgotten about Old Siege.
So silly.
Originally, Tachanka's turret had no shield covering his head, so you had to hope and pray that the enemy was a bad shot. Tachanka
Bro.
also used to have a different voice actor, and here's a couple of his iconic old lines.
Shit, the best
LMG
scratcher.
mounted and loaded. Bathroom! Bathroom! Out of ammo! I'm out!
Presidential plane being in ranked. This was one of the most
Bro was
chaotic
not around at
maps they've
1.0.
ever
Bro,
had
yes
in the
I
ranked
was.
pool.
A little bit.
A
Nothing
close
crazy
quarters
though.
massacre, or when the random
Dude,
would
look at
pick
my R6
glass and
tracker.
stay outside on the
I'm not
wing
I'm not true,
until the end of
OG.
the round.
I played
not
at
getting a
1.0
single
though.
pick. The run-out detection being 5 seconds.
I just had nobody to play with,
This
bro.
was
My
actually
IRL
kind of
sucked.
crazy that Ubisoft thought
We would
this
just
was
lose
gonna
in
work.
ranked and I would get
This
pissed.
is what the beta version of Siege looked like. An entirely different HUD and only a couple ops to choose from. Instead of 3 attack or 3 defense rounds, you would alternate defending and attacking every other round. The kitchen on Chalet had a
Wait,
window
what?
that attackers could just peek
Oh,
into.
this window was
And with Prime
fucking
Blackbeard,
was a
it was a
nightmare.
free pick every time. Let's see what else Paul Allen remembers about Old
Bro,
Siege.
Prime
Remember when
Blackbeard
Goyo
on this
had his
window?
canisters attached to deployable shields? Here's even more things you might not remember about Old Siege. The castle FPS glitch. This was absolutely insane. You could spam the regular
The
barricade and
castle
barricade,
FPS glitch.
and this would drop everyone's game below like 10
Oh
FPS,
my
making
goodness,
it impossible
bro.
to play. The old pixel peaks used to be crazy, because like in this Bolo clip, he actually gets smoked by Pulse's elbow. The Doc stim glitch. There was a glitch where Doc had unlimited stims, and this is when Doc overhealed for 40 extra health. This was probably one of the most
I remember the
outrageous
barricade
glitches
glitch.
we've
That was
seen
the
in
worst
Siege.
glitch ever, too.
I can't find a clip
I
of
used to be
this
getting spawn
anywhere.
peeked to be like, yo,
The
where
castle
did
used
I
to
die
have a
from, bro?
deployable shield.
Where the
And if you
fuck
put
did
it
I
in
die
front of this
from?
barricade, you couldn't breach it, and sometimes couldn't even melee it. When Doka B used to call you, your phone would ring until you answered. Wish I had a
What?
non-stop like that. Remember the Rainbow Six Siege reveal trailer? It's almost 10 years old. Here's even more things you might not remember about Old Siege. The old pistol
Yo,
recoil
what are they
was
doing to that
crazy,
poor woman?
But the old Desert Eagle recoil was something else, as seen in the GOAT
Yeah, that shit is
Blackbeard video.
kicking!
This deagle was nearly impossible to use,
Oh
with
my-
the recoil kicking
Bro,
to
it
the
looks like
ceiling.
you're using, like,
Old
hacks.
Hereford base being in ranked.
This
This
up,
map was one of my
Santi.
favorites, and they pretty much ruined it with the rework. I think it's completely gone from the game now too. The old destruction with shotties used to be pretty bad.
Ugh.
You needed to use a lot of ammo just to make a tiny rotation. You used to be able to climb on the vent on old
Wait, so
Cafe
how did you make
Dostoevsky.
rotations? You
This
needed
would give you a
impacts?
crazy angle all the way down to the reading
insane.
door or anyone running under skylight. The old F2, no recoil, had an ACOG, 31 rounds in a mag, and still had the vertical grip. If you were
I think
picking
the
Twitch
F2 is
back
still
in the
really
day,
good.
It most certainly was not to use her drone.
I think the F2
Remember
is
when
still
Jaeger
nasty.
could have a deployable shield for a head? Here's even more things you might not remember about Old Siege. The Tachanka 3 speed glitch. If you hopped on and off of Tachanka's turret a few times, it would make you run faster, so this could turn a 1-speed into a 3-speed. Getting swung by a 3-speed Doc was crazy. One of the many Clash glitches was shooting with your shield out. This was one of the most game-breaking glitches we've seen in Siege.
Shoot
to the
with
point
your
where Ubisoft
shield
just
up.
straight up had Clash removed from the game at a point.
So
There
that's
actually
just
was
the
a
worst thing
point
of
where
all
you
time.
could break Lion's drone.
That's literally, you
This
can't
didn't
die.
last long at all, but it was pretty weird how they even had hit markers for it. You used to be able to climb on the ledge right outside of the tiny control windows on Canal.
Whoa, I think you
also
could still
safely
do
fall
that,
off the
no?
ledge without taking any fall damage, so it was low risk, high reward. The invisible and invincible IQ glitch. This glitch was another insane one that was
What?
game-breaking, where IQ's hitbox was still outside, while she could run around inside and be untouchable, unless she hit a trap. Remember when you could glitch outside of the building during the prep phase? Here's even more things you might not
Yo,
remember
imagine just
about Old
spawning in and
Siege.
dying.
Not only was there the
I'd be
glitch with the
fucking muted.
barricade to get out during the prep phase, but there was the deployable shield glitch that could get you outside too. So this worked on pretty much every map. Casual rounds used to be 4 minutes long, and at the time it was actually called casual, not quick play or standard. On Old Oregon,
4 minutes
you used to be
long,
able to get
bam.
inside the washer and
Terrible.
dryer, making you completely invincible, and you could hop back out by vaulting the shield.
Wait, that's
the
actually
headshot hitbox
insane.
used to be horrible. Sometimes you would straight up headshot
I heard
someone
Ash
and
had
it
no
wouldn't register,
hitbox
or
back
it would
then,
be that
chat.
you technically hit their helmet. In previous seasons, we used to get 2 operators, a new map, new weapons.
Bro, what the fuck happened to this shit? What happened, man? 2 ops, a new map, fucking reworks. Bro, now it's just nothing. We get a battle pass.
And a few extra bonus things here and there. And you would get all of these things with the season pass. Ranking up used to be really inconsistent with the ELO. Sometimes you would only get 10 ELO for a game, but the next one you'd lose 50. You could see what this was like in the GOAT Anthony
Oh,
Pitts
hell
Limbo
no.
video. Remember when Zofia had 4 stuns along with her 2
4
nades?
stuns?
Here's even more stuff you might not remember.
And she
about
had
old
whip
Siege.
stand too.
Barbed wire
Wow,
used to slow
Zof
you
was
down
nasty.
significantly more than it does now, and I think it was 3 melees to break as well. We were supposed to get a Polish season in year 2, but it got scrapped, and we just ended up getting Ella and Zofia.
Maybe
and
this
Blood
season we
Orchid
get
and White
Polish.
Noise. During this Polish season, we were supposed to get a new map. No clue if they
We
ended up
need new
using it
maps,
for any current
bro.
maps we have, or if it's still on the back burner waiting to be released.
We need multiple
The invisible
new maps, bro. I
operator
don't give a
glitch.
fuck.
I don't remember how you did this, but I think it was during Operation Chimera. The only way you could spot someone was by seeing their floating weapons.
Wait,
On Old
what?
Chalet, you used to be able to climb up and sit on top of the fridge in the kitchen, just out of view from that small window
Whoa!
where Blackbeard always sat.
I mean,
Who can
bro, I'm
forget
getting
Kickstar's
like, I'm
iconic
gunning,
ace on plane?
I'm gunning
Rest in
people
peace,
off that.
Kicks.
Yo, Kickstar was nasty. Damn. I don't know. Old Siege looks like better, but the glitches will probably.
Remember
make me
when
say,
Yacht
like,
was a
New
ranked
Siege is
map?
better.
Here's even more things you might not remember
So many
about Old
glitches,
Siege.
chat. You know how mental shocking it
Capitão's
is?
Fire used to not only look very different, but it acted very different too.
Fuck
It
is
used to kind
that?
of float wherever it was shot, and it wouldn't spread around. Very different from what it is now. There used to be no FOV on console, so everyone was locked at 60.
That shit was ass.
Most console games didn't have this at the time anyway, so we didn't really know what we were missing. The Blitz hipfire glitch. If you placed a breaching charge,
The Blitz
repel,
hipfire
got off
glitch.
repel,
Like, look
pick
what
up
I'm
the
talking about.
breaching
Look at all the
charge really
glitches.
quick. It would give you insane hip firing. You used to have different ranks on different servers. For example, if you played on a US East Coast server and were Gold 1, you could queue up with
What?
people in the UK and get
Oh, I do
top
remember
places,
this.
while still keeping your Gold 1 on East Coast. It used to
I remember
tell you
when
who did
EUs
damage
would,
to
like,
you
come
and
play
also how much
NA.
they did. Not sure why they took this feature out, honestly, it was cool. I don't remember if this was just a glitch or this is how it was, but in this old clip, Bandit didn't counter Hibana. Let's see what else Paul Allen remembers about Old Siege. Remember when the announcer on Border used to yell this on the loudspeaker?
Do not attempt to burn the helicopter.
Here's even more
Bruh.
things you might not remember about Old Siege.
Bro, Bobby, we don't
I've
know.
talked
We
about
don't know.
Maestro's hipfire before, but some people forget about the hipfire on the PDW. It was
I'm
almost
like,
as good
why,
as
bro?
Maestro's.
Why? Like,
Not only the PDW, but the 417s was really good too.
oh,
There was also a point where it only had 11 rounds in a mag. and
what
was
the
thankfully
fuck?
increased
This
to
shit's like a
21, making it
shotgun.
much more
It's like a
viable.
hybrid.
Old Favela. Not only was it incredibly close quarters and chaotic, but it was also in
Worst
ranked.
map. Worst map in
I
the
low-key
game.
miss
Worst map
this
in the fucking game.
I know
No,
it's
no.
bad for ranked, but it was still a lot of fun.
Such a bad map.
Buck having frags and his DMR having almost no fire cap. Basically could be full auto if you were fast enough. Bodies would
the
not
motherfuckers with the
disappear.
strike
They would
pack.
just be lying there, and you could hide in them if you were sneaky enough. Remember when Blitz had no cooldown on his flashes? Here's even more things you might not remember about Old Siege. Shields used to be a one-hit no matter the armor or health you had. The old
What?
LMG meta. Especially Zofia's
It's still
LMG,
an
you could
LMG
just hold
meta.
the trigger and let
Yo.
150 rounds.
I don't know why it's not an LMG meta right now. Finca LMG is literally, it's still like it was in its prime, bro. I don't know.
Fly with absolutely
now
no
we
recoil.
have Kurt saying
And
you
you
did
could
not
still
play back
reload
then.
cancel at the
Yo,
time,
bro,
too.
I literally
The old
played back
Valkyrie
then.
camera glitch on bank.
Listen,
If you threw a cam out of the map,
bro,
in the
I wasn't like a grinder, bro. Hold on. No. See, now, I don't know half the shit. I like barely played Will. Why is my R6 tracker working? Nice. Bro, chat. I played back then. Look. Look, bro, look. Alright, so I played fake Boto R6. Yo, thanks for the sub, Callum. Bro, look. I started in Chimera. I played one rank game. This is when I played customs. I used to play customs the most. And then look, Parabellum. See, look at the breaks I would take. Wind Bastion, Shift and Tides. I remember I hit Diamond with 39 games played. Bro, I had no fucking stack. I want to hit Champ so bad, but I had no stack. I had nobody to play with. My IRLs were like, my IRLs would just get shitted on. And then, look, see? Look, Neon Dawn. I played back then. 0.0 KD on what season? Parabellum? How the fuck do I have a 0.0 KD? Hello? Whoa. With 33 games played? That was my first rank season too. What the fuck? Fake OG? Bro, nobody's claiming OG. OG would be like health. And then North Star, look, 1.84 KD fit. Like, bro, I was nasty. I was fucking nasty back then. I had no stacks. And then, alright, so let me explain. This season right here, I was like, alright, Call of Duty's dog shit. Sports games are dog shit. Let me start playing Siege. I would see like Jinxie on my For You page too, and then Siege used to be like a cycle. We would hop on Siege like at a certain time, and the cycle happened. I was like, bro, let me actually just like main Siege, and I started trying. And then I hit Champ my first season, like actually trying with a 1.61. And then this season was passion as fuck for ranked. And then I found out about like tourneys, so I just stopped caring about ranked. But like if I wanted to, bro, I could hit #1 champion right now, but it's just like I don't have the passion for that shit. Ranked is so trash.
Back alley. Your camera would be completely black, but you'd be able to
No, I
spot
never watched
every
Comp back
attacker no
then.
matter where they were on the map. And the camera was also indestructible. For
Yeah,
whatever
season was
reason,
passion.
Capitao used to have blue smoke. It also looked way different.
Blue
texture-wise. It
smoke?
was
Wait,
like
that's
multiple
fire.
clouds.
I like that.
Thatcher used to destroy gadgets completely instead of disabling them. This included cameras too.
Thatcher was silly.
This made bandit tricking way more difficult. Remember when you could drop shot in Siege? Here are even
Hey, look,
more
we could
things
run it
you
back
might
for
not
a
remember
band.
about old
Let me
Siege.
know.
On Old House, you could climb
Hey, let
up
me
into
know,
that little
Poppy.
tree
Let me
house
know.
and have an angle all the way into master bedroom.
Carrot
Sadly,
aim.
the spot isn't nearly as good on the reworked
Yo,
house.
this spot was
Speaking of angles on
silly,
Old
bro.
House, being able to climb on the
OG
dresser
House
and
Customs
master
was
if
so
you vaulted
fun.
over a shield onto it. One of
Anthony
the best
Pitt
spots
videos?
of
No,
Old
I never watched
Siege.
those.
In the reveal trailer when they showed the attackers rappelling out of a helicopter instead of just spawning in.
2v2.
This whole trailer is honestly a different game in its entirety. This is what the UI and the beta looked like. As seen
I
in the
never
Goat
touched
Rush and
the beta.
Badgers video, almost nothing looks the same except for the frag and breach charge logo.
The beta looked
These
like
are all
ass.
the
I
old
mean, it was a
operator
beta.
icons in the beta.
Yo,
If the
why'd they
names weren't
chalk
right below
them?
There's no
These
shot
are
I'd
kinda
even be able to guess which
fire.
op is which.
Wait,
Seriously.
what's the best looking one? Yo, these are actually kind of fire. Hold on, why'd they chalk these? Yo, Glazes is sick. I like Glazes. Bandits is cool. I think I like Glaz the most.
Just look at Blitz's logo. This isn't really an old Siege thing, but whatever happened with that Thatcher rework that was shown back during the reveal of Year 7?
Whoa!
Did they just end up scrapping the idea altogether? Remember when you could hop out of the window on tower with Doc? Here's even more things you might not remember about old Siege. Any op could hop out of the window, but Doc was the only one that would survive. Once you were down there, you were stuck like Chuck, and the only way you were winning the
Stuck
round
like
was
Chuck,
if the
okay.
attackers threw. There used to be no map or operator banning. Once that game started, you were locked into playing that map and went right to picking your operator for the
Yo,
round.
look how little
The old
operators there
matchmaking
are,
used to
chat.
take forever
Wow.
since you could dodge before the game started. You were lucky to
This
make it in
looks like
within
ass.
under a minute. Although the queue times today aren't much better sometimes. The old pinging system, there were no numbers on the ping, so saying over there on my ping usually ended in a tragedy if there was more than one ping. The old season pass, I wish they would bring this back.
Yo, bring
but it
this
kinda
shit
makes
back
sense why they don't,
ASAP.
since we're
The
only
zebra
getting 2
skin.
new ops this year. It was actually worth buying back in the day. Remember the Grand Larceny event? This is something I'd love to see return.
Whoa, what
Here
is
are even more
this?
things you might have forgotten about old Siege. On old Café Dostoevsky, the bomb site used to be kitchen and bakery. Small bakery was not a thing, and the room was really difficult to defend since you could plant right at the front door.
Small bake wasn't
And the
a
kitchen
thing?
layout was
I don't
different
remember
too.
this.
Prep had a window to outside and was actually called
See, like,
bakery kitchen.
I don't remember any of this
The
shit.
other 2 kitchen rooms were kitchen grill and kitchen prep.
I remember I have a
You used to
clip
only
on
be
my
able to have one
Snapchat.
drone out at a
I have a
time.
clip. I had like a
If you had
4K
drone
with
set
smoke,
up somewhere on the map, throwing out your second drone
primary
would break
gun.
the first one
I
automatically.
was like, I thought
the
I
only
was so
gameplay I could
nasty,
find
bro.
of this was from the Goat Macy J, but Valkyrie used to have 4 cameras. Being able to throw 4 cameras wherever you wanted, including outside, was insanely strong. Remember
I'm
when
so
you
happy
could
they
vote to
removed
kick
that.
your teammates in ranked? Here are even more things you might not remember
Yeah,
about
vote
old
that
Siege.
kick. Is this
Smoke
still in
used to have a
CS:GO
nitro
chat?
cell, and this was back when they were nukes, so he was a really good shield counter. Ghost Recon Wildlands had a crossover with Siege back in 2018.
Wow.
You had to track
It's still
down
on
Kavira
CS?
after she went rogue.
That's
And you
cool.
can play as all the Siege operators all the way up to Parabellum. They even still have the old Hibana in this. The recoil on Buck's AR was outrageous, especially on console. It would
Oh,
bounce all over the place.
I
and you had
remember
to pull
this.
down a lot to control it.
No.
His
Yo,
old
I couldn't even
DMR was
control
the
this
way
shit
to
on
go
the
back
fucking
then.
Cronus.
Getting inside of the safety deposit boxes in the vault on Bank. This glitch was crazy
Well, how
because
do
you
you
were invincible until you
see? I don't understand this. How, bro? How do people find this out? Like, how much of a loser do you have to be, bro?
popped out slightly, and this was right where the hostage was.
Like, yo,
The
what?
old Rook armor animation. Not only was the animation different, but it was
how
green
do you
instead
stumble
of blue,
upon
and Rook
that?
didn't automatically pick it up. Remember when you could knock out parts of a castle barricade with a few melee hits in the closed alpha?
What?
Here's even more
The
things you might
closed
not remember
alpha?
about old
Yeah, bro. I'm sure we remember this from the closed alpha.
Siege. Console had a pro league scene. This didn't last
Bring
long
this
at
shit
all.
back.
I think it
That-
lasted
nah.
about a year before they abandoned
Yeah, it would
it.
never come back.
It would be really cool to see this
That'd be
return,
sick.
especially now since there are so many console players.
Nah,
This was
nah.
a small thing, but having to press a button
Neverland,
to activate
G.
your drone. I definitely don't miss this. I'm a bigger fan of the advanced setting. Hibana's pellets used to only be 6 at a time. You couldn't switch it to 4 or 2.
Yo, chat. Do you guys remember when you would pick your ops and you couldn't change them on attack? You know how now, chat, you can pick your ops, drone out the site, drone out the operators, then lock your ops? Bro, like, low-key, I'm happy they made it where you could change your op, bro, because you would have to, like, guess. You would have to just guess to bring a Thatcher. Like, you would always have to bring the Thatcher.
And also,
like,
it was insanely buggy. Sometimes you had to push the activate button multiple times to get it to go off, or only a few of them would go off. The R4C had no recoil, and was one of the best weapons
shit don't
on
have
attack
recoil
for a
now,
while.
too.
You could just fly in with Ash and cook whoever you aimed at. The drone in the reveal trailer was way smaller than the actual drone that we ended up getting. Imagine the drone spots people would have found if they kept the drones like this.
Yo, that
Remember
that
Iconic's
shit's like a
clutch on
mouse.
Oregon against Dark Zero? It's not that old, but still awesome. But here's even
This
more
clutch
things
was
you
probably
might have
the greatest
forgotten
clutch
about
in
Old
history.
Siege. Bolo's insane ace clutch on Coastline. The quick leaning, the different recoil pattern.
Bro,
for
look
the
at the
R4C
movement
with
back then,
black
chat.
eyes, the old pistol
Nah, the
recoil,
movement back then
the
was
5-second
crazy.
plant time. All while remaining cool, calm, and collected. This was prime year 2 Siege. On old Hereford in the basement, you used to be able to climb on top of the shelves. This was a great spot back when the game first
I don't
came
remember
out,
this map.
because it caught people off guard. That sprinkler and alarm that was constantly making noise in the basement hallway on Bank. I don't remember when they changed it, but it was one of the best changes they've ever made to Bank. You used to be able to glitch out the MVP pose in
Yo,
T-Hunt.
what?
All you needed to do was finish the game where the characters stand, and it would glitch out.
Yeah, bro.
This was
bring
one of the
back the old
funniest
movement,
glitches
bro.
that
You
I
know
don't
the
think
skill
too many
gap?
people knew
Yo,
about.
the old movement, chat, is like kind of like CS:GO. You know how in CS1, it's kind of no. It's not even like that. It's like CS to Val, bro. The Val movement skill gap compared to CS, bro. CS, there's like such a big skill gap. Now there's not even a skill gap. Like you could just compare it to that.
Remember when you would hit someone
back
and
then you could
basically
move
paint
like
the walls or floors bright
crazy.
red? Here are even more things you might not remember about Old Siege. When Prime Lion, Finka, and Blitz had the Pro League scene in absolute shambles.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
round you'd see Lion picked in a super aggressive attacking round.
OG Oregon.
Lion almost ruined Siege Pro League. Doc didn't have an overheal ability. His stim pistol was only used for reviving either yourself
Wait, that ass?
or your teammates to 75 health, which was honestly a big deal back in the day. I couldn't
feel
find
like-
a clip of this anywhere,
never mind.
but I think if you hit your teammates with a stim pistol while they were up, it would actually do damage. The old operator selection screen, there were only a handful of ops, especially at
Wow.
launch,
Look
but
at
it's
that
honestly
shit.
crazy how many ops we have now. I'm actually in an old Evan Braddock video called The Recruit Anthem.
Oh yeah.
The video is almost 7 years old, and it was really cool to see my friend and I in this video.
Yo.
You can see my PlayStation name.
What was that
I
mirror
still have.
doing?
The Ninja Gamer 99. I made it when I was 12 and thought it was cool.
Yeah, this guy's
Remember when
OG.
Doc used to overheal 40 health? Here's even more things you might not remember about Old Siege. Fortress being in ranked. This map was massive and definitely wasn't
He already
my
said that
favorite to
this
get,
video, no?
but I still had fun on it. I'd like to see this map return with a rework fixing some
Yes!
of the sites on this map.
Rework the
This
whole
infamous
map,
Bolo
though.
clip always gets me.
Bolo, pick a bolo, pick a bolo, someone pick a bolo!
Oh, hey, I appreciate that.
Reflex C used to be the only site you could use on Clash's secondary, along with it being a
Really?
2-burst.
Oh,
It honestly
two
wasn't
bursts.
that
Nah,
bad,
chalk it.
but it's definitely better having it full auto with whatever site. When Legion could steal Frost's kill with his goo mine if he threw one on her Frost mat.
That ass?
I'm not gonna lie,
Well, we'll
I
go to that
definitely
side
was
after
the
this.
Legion player that would do this to get on the board if I was at the bottom. The old grenade glitch. If you pulled out a frag and put it away really fast, the frag would still go off, usually resulting in
Whoa!
a tragedy. Not needing to be level 50 to play ranked. I think
That- yo,
originally
this
you
must
could
have
hop
been
in at any level, then they
terrible.
raised it to 20. then to 25, then 50. But not 100% sure.
How do you counter
Let's see what else
smurfing,
Paul
chat?
Allen
Is that even
remembers about
possible or
old
no?
Siege.
Oh damn, thanks for the sub. Damn, bro, yo, Siege was, I don't know. Besides the glitches, Siege was so much better back then. Besides the glitches.